Hello. Sorry to bother you. Can I ask you a slightly odd question?
Yes.
I'm making a podcast called Strangers on a Bench, where essentially I talk to people I don't know on benches for 10 or 15 minutes. Are you up for that? Do you want to give it a go? Do you have a favourite day of the week?
No,
No.
no. Every day's the same to me because I'm retired. I lost my partner in November, so I'm bored to tears.
Oh.
I've got naught to do apart from come here, watch people go by, envy them because they're normally in tows and I'm on my own. Or you'll see joggers going by and thinking, I wish I could do that because I can't walk good.
Oh.
But that's it, you know. I know it sounds like a soft sob story, but it isn't. Retirement's a great life if you're healthy and you've got hobbies and this, that and the other. Apart from that, it's not.
Have you got hobbies?
No.
No.
No,
We've
well-
got to get you some.
The reason I haven't got hobbies, I was a lorry driver. I used to go away Sunday and come back Friday night. So my hobby was going all over England, Scotland and Wales. So
In the lorry.
I didn't have time for...
What were you driving around? What was in the lorry?
kitchen units.
Kitchen units.
Yeah, so it were all at building sites.
Yeah.
My district were always London, south.
How long were your journeys?
Well, our depot used to be in Boston Spa, not far from here, about 10 mile away from here. I could go from there straight out of Cornwall to do a drop.
Yeah. What's your concentration like?
Oh, I'm good. From there downwards is no good. From there upwards, I've got it all.
The
sort of
head is
thing.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably the better way round, no?
Yeah.
If you had to choose.
Yeah, but then again, you see, I've got to plan myself out. My car's parked over there.
Yeah.
So I know that I can walk from there, round here, on this bench, have 20 minutes, get up, go round, and you see that them benches over there?
Yeah.
I go for a walk around there.
Nice.
That's my exercise.
Yeah. Is that your daily routine?
Well, if I don't do it, I'll sit in the house and die.
See, we don't want to do that.
I don't mean that to sound sort of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but that's how it is. Obviously, if it were bouncing down the rain, I wouldn't be doing it. But, you know, if it's a nice day, I get myself out, I do what I've got to do, and I'm quite content.
What else is in this daily routine of yours now then?
Not a lot, to be truthful. Apart from going to see my grandkids and all this, that and the other, you know.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Tease the life out of them sort of thing. But no, well, actually, I tease the life out of them before I come here. Because I drive them about, so if they need a bit of shopping, I'll take them shopping. Then when I've finished that, I come here, then just sit down and watch people feeding them.
How do you feel about swans? There's a lot of them in front of us.
I know there is. You know, I wondered why they've never been on someone's menu because for Christmas, you know what I mean? They're big out there. But then, as I said, it gives me something to do.
Yes.
If you come here tomorrow, I'm more likely to be sat at the same place, doing the same thing. But
Perfect.
but I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I don't mind it because people walk past and say, good morning. So I say good morning back, and that's nice. It's a little bit of
I agree. That's wonderful.
interaction, if you know.
Yeah.
I don't mean a full-blown conversation
lovely.
about your own life
Yeah.
and this, that, and the other, you know. But
I've been walking around here this morning. I've had so many lovely hellos.
yeah,
It's been beautiful.
yeah.
It's been wonderful. So tell me, how do you tease your grandchildren?
I wind them up. You know, like, I'll give you one instance,
Yeah.
and it's so funny, really. Ice cream van were outside, called him Sammy, this one. He's now 11, and I bought 2 ice creams, and I said to the ice cream fella, you mind just putting the right little bit on one? And doing the proper one with there, which he did do, he just gave me it. So when I went in house, and I said, here, Sammy, that's yours, and this is mine. Obviously, I'd got the big one for him,
Yeah.
and I was going to have the little one, but it was, here, Sammy, that's yours. And he looked, but it backfired on me because he burst out crying because he saw the difference, you know what I mean? But that's me, you see.
That's brilliant.
That's my sort of wind-up. You know what kids are like?
That's
They
wonderful.
want the biggest out of everything.
I
don't they,
really
sort
like
of thing,
that.
You know.
Do you think it's important to kind of test them out a bit like that.
Well, I must be truthful. I've got cancer. I've got pancreatic cancer. And when I was in hospital, you've got a lot of time to think. And I sat there and I thought, the rest of my life, I'm going to spend with my grandkids, and I try and see them as much as I can now. I've made it my own pledge that I make sure that I see them.
Wonderful.
And I like to wind them up. I do. I like to do that. But they enjoy it themselves, you see, because they sort of fire back in their own little way.
Of course.
They fire back, and I find it comical.
Yes. You're strengthening them up.
Yeah.
You're toughening them in the nicest way possible.
Yeah. One of them calls me Grandpapa, and I find that very, very amusing. Grandpapa.
Grandpapa. Can you tell me about your partner, about your wife? Was it your wife?
Well, no partner. She wasn't my wife. We were together 47 years.
You didn't get married?
No, we're just quite content as we were.
Absolutely fine.
The beauty of us, we never argued, me and her.
Really?
No, I mean, we had words.
What's the difference between having words and arguing?
Well, if I were losing it with her, my words would be, oh, shut up, woman. And she'd fire back and say, go bollocks. But 5 minutes after, it was finished. There was none of this, I ain't going to talk to you for next week sort of thing. It just didn't happen, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays you get young kids there and they have an argument and they want to get divorced. They don't work it.
Interesting. So you think young people don't work it? But do you feel like you worked your relationship then?
Well, it worked for 47 years.
Yeah.
It'd have been 48 years now if we'd been, unfortunately, I lost her, so.
What was special about her?
I loved her. That's what was special about her. You know, like someone who you say, I've got my partner in life. I love that woman, and I did love her. I've got her on my phone. I look at her every day. I talk to her every day. People might think that's stupid. You know, you're talking to her.
Makes sense.
I've got her urn at home. It's in the sitting room there, and I talk to her, and I feel her presence when I'm talking to her. I tell her what I'm going to do today. Like more than likely tomorrow morning, I'll say, well, I met a fella down at Roundy Park, and we had a right good chat about blah, blah, blah. Just tell her that, and then I'll say, I'll see you at dinner time when I come back, and I'm here.
Sweet.
I'm having a cup of tea. Yeah. Can't make you one last, but I hope you're having one somewhere else. That sort of.
Well, do you hear her respond? Do you hear her voice?
No. The only response I've ever had, and this sounds so stupid, and I still can't understand it. I'm going back maybe a month now, and I was sat in the house on my own, miserable, looking at telly, no on telly, and all of a sudden, my hand were wet, and water were all over my hand. I live in a flat. I looked above, seeing if it were leaking from above, and there were nothing. And all I can think is, she's thrown water on me to say that I'm here. That's all I can think of, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Does she like throwing water around generally?
No, it wasn't, no. I wasn't having a cup of tea and thought I spilled it over me. It was just there.
So you take it as a sign?
I took it as a sign, yeah. I'll tell you another one, a silly one as well. I like 60s music.
Yeah.
I was born in 47, but I like 60s music. I love YouTube on the telly, and I was going through YouTube, and I was fed up. And a record come on, Summer Place by Percy Faith.
Can you sing it for me?
No, it's an instrumental.
Oh, it's instrumental?
So, you know, yeah. This had come on, so few little tears in my eyes because it was her favourite song. But when I flicked over, next song was a song that I'd play. One after that was a song that I'd play. And one after that, and when I got to about 20 records of listening to it, this was half the night, they were all songs that I'd play. And I think that she could see that I was fed up with myself, and she's put something nice on for me. You know.
I love it.
Believe it or believe it not,
no,
you know.
I mean, I think it's important that we believe.
I mean, I believe that I'm going to see her. I mean, I know that what I've got, you can't cure. So I know that eventually I'm going to see her. And I'm quite content. You know, death doesn't bother me. It's going to come to you, you know.
True.
But my partner, she just never woke up, which was a lovely death in my eyes. I mean, you see these poor people in hospital and they're suffering for years, and then these idiots, these bloody do-gooders, let's keep them alive with tablets and all that. Why? Yeah. If you want to die, you want to, you know what I mean? You want to be peaceful.
Do you think she wanted to die?
No. Every Friday, She used to have a hairdresser used to come to the house. And he'd come for the last 30 years, and she's come every Friday. I used to laugh. I used to say to her, you're going to get your hair done now, and all you're going to do is go to bed. Then when you get up in the morning, it's going to be a mess. And you're going to have to do it yourself. And she said, shut up, it's my money. I said, fair enough then. And this particular Friday night, she'd done it, laughing and joking. We'd had our cups of tea, gone to bed, and this, that, and the other. And she woke me up at maybe 5 o'clock in the morning. She said, I can't breathe. And she'd gone into the sitting room, and she'd gone into a chair. And by the time I'd got up, what were only a minute or so, 2 minutes, and she was slumped in the chair, and I thought, oh, I bet she's had a rubbish night. I made her a cup of tea, put it aside, and I kept, part your teeth getting cold, And then eventually I realised she's not waking up. Hence to say that I phoned 999.
Yeah.
7 paramedics run through the door. Seven, truthfully, 7 paramedics. But I'm there crying my bleeding eyes out, and one of them, she was absolutely brilliant. She was a youngish girl, but she'd been taught well. She was putting my mind at ease, you know, oh, do you want a phone, and this, that, and the other. I said, I want my daughters here. She found the numbers, telephoned them, and it come. Then one of the paramedics come into the bedroom, and he says, we've got her heart going again, but we're going to take her down to hospital. Took her down to hospital. She never woke up. I was the only thick person, and there must have been 30 of us in the room. I was the only thick person thinking that she was going to come round. You know, because her eyes were flickering and this, that and the other. All others, they knew she was dead, but...
I don't think you were thick, you were just
They couldn't tell me. Well, I was hoping, that's, as I said, after all them years, you know what I mean? But she had tubes down the throat and all this. It wasn't nice. It wasn't nice. Eventually, one of the doctors come in and he said, she's not going to wake up. We're going to have to turn the things off, but someone's got to say, turn it off. And I looked around everybody, and I didn't want to be the person to say, turn my partner's thing off, but I ended up I had to. And then we sat there. Nurse kept coming in and saying, she's holding on. He's dead. And then after that, end of the story, I kissed her on the cheek and I just said to her, wait for me, love, won't you? And that's my story. So what she's doing now, I hope she's up there with her son. I mean, her son died 14, 15 years ago, so I hope she's up there with him, having a latte and a walk about, whatever you do up there. I hope that's happening, and it keeps me happy. It keeps me happy.
Do you think about, it sounds you didn't get a chance to say stuff to her before she died.
Yeah.
What would you have said?
I don't know. You take people for granted. I mean, I'm taking you for granted. You could be the biggest murderer in Leeds. Sort of. I don't mean that. No, you know what I mean. I mean, you know, you take her for granted. I wish I'd have said. I wish I'd have done. I wish I'd have taken her for that coffee, which I promised. You know what I mean. So,
yeah.
But you realise after something's happened. But now, as I said, I'm on my own. Your mind works overtime thinking, I wish I'd have told her this, I wish I'd have said that. But then again, she knew I loved her. I didn't have to tell her I loved her. I didn't have to tell her I loved her.
She knew.
I say she was, truthfully, she was one of the biggest morning farts that ever walked on this earth. But she was my morning fart and I didn't mind. I mean, she wasn't a morning fart.
What did she moan about?
Fart. Silly little thing, grandkids have got on my nerves and this silly little stupid things, you know what I mean? But you say, oh, leave it. That's all.
Tell me about when you first started seeing each other, the moment where you felt a connection, the moment you felt that you knew this is a person you're going to be with for a long time.
Hell, you're going back a lot of years now.
I know.
We used to when they used to be coming home from London, she come from Leicester, and we used to park up on a Thursday night, 'cause Thursday night was a good night, if you know what I mean, in at Leicester. Used to go to a place called Beer Keller.
Beer Keller?
Beer Keller. a wine bar, come beer, but
Yeah.
all it had were like an organist and a thing, but the atmosphere was good. And she used to be down there, and like I'm talking to you, he just get talking, and I'll see you next week if I'm here. Aye, all right then, and he just blossomed. He just blossomed. You see, when you're on your own all week, and you're just talking to the odd person when you go do a drop, it's nice to have a little bit of a conversation with somebody, you know.
Yeah.
Her and her husband wasn't getting on, and
Oh, she was married at the time.
she was married. Yeah, well, that's a long story, which I won't get into that with you, type of thing. You know what I mean? But see,
Did you have an affair with her?
yeah, well, we did eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Was
then
it
we
a
just-
secret affair?
Oh, aye, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, aye.
What was that like?
No, it was all right, actually. It was spicing up your life a little bit, if you know what I mean.
Did you have a partner as well?
Oh, yeah. We weren't getting up. She was fed up with me just coming on Friday nights. It was a stepping stone in your life that eventually you were going to part company.
Yeah.
Because when Pat come up here to live, she gave me the ultimatum, it's a lorry or me, and I picked her. So
Good choice.
I packed the lorries. It was a very good choice.
Do you miss anything from lorry life?
No, not at all.
Yeah,
No,
you did it.
not at I'm lying there. I do. I miss some beautiful places I used to go to, and I used to get paid to do it. So sit
What was
there.
your favourite place?
I used to like Cornwall. You know.
So you would park a lorry up and then go and see a lovely spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how
Well,
you do it.
most of these car parks, it's funny, you say it nicely, I used to like going to Colchester because the lorry park was in the middle of Colchester, but it had a swimming bath at the side,
Outside of the car park.
up the side of the car, and they had baths in them days, so obviously you've been away 2 or 3 days, I
Perfect.
don't mean you stink sort of thing,
Yeah.
but you go for a nice bath. And when you come up there, just up the road, maybe distance from here to where that couple is over there,
Yeah.
there's a Chinese restaurant.
Brilliant.
So you go, park up, bath, out, Chinese restaurant, that'd leave you till maybe 8 o'clock, then you sit down, you always got talking to another lorry driver or what sort of a day we had, then you go to bed, then in the morning you start again.
Fantastic.
Oh, it would have
Sounded
good.
fun.
You know, well, you have to work it out
Yeah.
yourself. Some of the lorry drivers I know, I mean, they'd go away Sunday and they wouldn't have a change of clothes or nothing. They wouldn't have a razor and you could see them, they were like tramps. Well,
You
not
kept
me,
yourself
sort of.
smart.
Yeah, well, you
Well, you
try.
were seeing ladies as well.
You try. No, only one.
So yeah, only one,
Only
of
one.
course. Only one. I'm guessing you were in the lorry on your own. No one else was with
Oh
you.
no, you just me.
How did you combat the loneliness of that
Radio.
radio?
Radio. Plus I had a
What
little
radio station?
2.
Classic.
At 4 o'clock, when I was going, 4 o'clock in the afternoon,
Okay.
it was an hour play. And I used to look forward because if I'm doing a couple of 100-mile driving,
Yeah.
that there is nice because you could chuckle to yourself, sort of thing, you know.
Did you ever pick up any hitchhikers?
A few. A lot of them are ladies of the night, if you know what I mean. And you bypass them. They haven't been washed for the bleeding week for a start because they're living on service stations, sort of things. But then you'd see a couple at side of the road, sort of thing. They're hitchhiking out of London. You used to have some decent conversations with them, sort of thing.
Do you remember
know.
any in particular? Not really.
No.
Are you a good driver then?
Well, I've done it. I've only had one bad crash in all my driving life. I've had a few speeding.
What happened in the bad one?
No, well, actually, it was on the A1. I was going from this side of A1 to other side
Yeah.
to one at service stations, delivering some stuff, and I looked in my mirror and I saw this dot in the distance,
Yeah.
going back. And I thought, I'll make that. By the time I turned my wheel, it run into me. I thought I'd kill 4 people. I thought I'd genuinely kill husband, wife, and 2 kids. And this smart ass copper who was in front of me driving, he said, "I've seen everything." Now he's got his eyes on road, hasn't he? But he can see me at the back, sort of thing. It was a pure simple accident. It was genuine. Nothing ever happened. You know, I didn't go to court. I didn't do nothing. But I thought I thought I'd killed him, but as I said, this was his smart-ass copper. This is why I don't like coppers. I think 90% of them are liars.
Interesting.
But I don't like coppers for that
Have you
reason.
ever had any other run-ins with coppers?
Only speeding and that's it, you know.
But you used to drive at speed?
Oh, with lorry. Oh, well, it was money. The more loads I got done, the more money I got. It was as simple as that. So, you know.
Do you have a favourite motorway? Or services? Any favourite services? But you know the services well.
I mean, the one, I forgot what they call it now. Woodhall. That's at Sheffield. Don't go in it. It's like walking into the 1950s. It's a.
What's wrong with the 1950s?
No, it's never been altered.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. You're looking, thinking, friggin' hell, these tables could have been. You could have renewed this. You could have. It's horrible. You've nothing where you could look and say, oh, you know something, that's nice. These are nice, comfortable seats, that sort of thing, you know.
Can you tell me what you were like as a child?
Bloody hellfire. I don't know. I was a quiet kid, actually. I mean, my childhood was good. I mean, I had a good mum and dad.
Well, this may be a better way to ask this question. Let's imagine a typical childhood Sunday. Maybe you're 10, 8, 10 kind of age. What would it have looked like? What have you been doing?
Out playing. My mum would turn round to me and say, your dinner's on table at 4. If you're not in, you're not getting it. And that used to be it, so you made sure. Yeah, but in them days, you see, you'd play all day. You'd play cowboys and Indians all day long, or you'd go into the wood. But, as I said, your mum's words were law.
Yeah.
And she wasn't a stern mother, far from it. She had a lovely mother, but she had the rules. She had the rules.
What about your dad?
He was a bus driver. He used to drive. Well, actually, when he first started off, he was down Pitt. And he went to be a bus driver. From bus driver, he went into Yorkshire Electric.
What did you learn from your parents, do you think? Fundamentally?
I learned from my dad to speak my mind. You won't walk over me. If I think you're wrong, I'll tell you. And I learnt my daughter the same. Because there's that many people try and get one over on you. And you know it's wrong. But that's me. My partner used to say, you'll get your nose punched one of these days.
Have you ever had your nose punched?
No.
So she was wrong?
No, but I am outspoken.
Yeah.
I've got through my life now, and nowadays, I'm 78 years old. My fighting days have gone, sort of thing. So, but I've still got a big mouth. I've still got a big mouth.
So anything apart from seeing the grandkids that you're keen to do with the rest of your life?
I'd tell you what I would like. I'd like a friend. I'd like a lady friend. I don't mean for what anybody's thinking, but it'd be nice. I'm all right through the day, but like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock when I go home on my own, it'd be nice to have a friend who'd telephone up and say, I'm in McDonald's now having a coffee. Do you want to come down and have one with me? I'm having fish and chips tonight. Shall I get twice? Your house or my house? You know where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
But when you get to my age, it don't happen. It don't happen.
But there must be other people in your position who are,
Well, it's sort of fine. It's fine. You see, I mean, you don't...
Go find them.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a very friendly person. I go to McDonald's every morning, and I class them as my birds. I've got 2 birds there. We meet up every morning, and we just have a laugh together. Then when we've had coffee, they go their way, I go mine.
Sweet.
But it's not something which you could push farther, because the friends.
But how did you find them then? Maybe you found them, maybe you could find other ones.
No, actually them, when my partner was alive, we all used to sit together.
Okay.
So it isn't something what just happened.
Yeah, you've seen ones.
But that's just, that's just how it was. I think we've virtually got through everything, don't you? I've enjoyed it, actually.
Well, that's good.
No, I have. I like it, and obviously it's bringing back memories. And you're asking questions. You're not asking personal questions. You know, you're asking questions, and it's nice. You know, it is nice. I've enjoyed it.
Good. I was going to ask you about your hobbies. I mean, we
I haven't got none.
but we could get you one.
No, you can't.
Surely
no,
that's something.
No, there isn't. Truthfully, and yeah, I have got an hobby: running my grandkids around. I'm a taxi for them. But I don't mind being a taxi for them. I enjoy it. As I said, I pledged to myself, if you can think back, when I was in hospital, I want to see my grandkids as much as I can. I mean, once you've gone, you've gone.
Of course.
You know, once you've gone.
2 more questions for you, then I'll leave you alone.
Go on.
What was it like for you to be diagnosed with cancer? What was that moment like?
You know, so I got the coldest shiver down my back. And I said to the doctor, I said, I've just got an horrible feeling down, and he said, that is natural to get. And we'd had a conversation, and he said, I've got to tell you now, at the worst scenario, you've got 18 months to live. He said, I've got to tell you that. He said, it means nothing. It's only a month or so that I went to see him again, just for a consultation. And he looked at me and he said, bloody hell, don't you look well? I said, I feel well. He said, dear, I said, I feel good in myself. You know, he said, well, you know, you've got that pancreatic cancer, which is the worst one you can get. It's the most aggressive one. He said, well, we've found out that we were a bit wrong. Let's call that your pancreatic, and it's there. Well, there's a little stem that comes off of it, and that's not as bad.
Okay.
So I said, my 18 months could be
much longer.
But how I feel good in myself.
Yeah.
But I make sure that I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm getting out. I'm not going to sit in the house and die.
Yeah.
I want to get out and do that, you know.
I like that. Wonderful.
I think so. Plus, I mean, my grandkids keep on telling me and saying, Grandad, don't leave us yet. And I say, I ain't going nowhere yet, love. I think there's a time in your life when you'll know in your own mind that your time's coming up. I genuinely think that, you know. Right, ask your last question.
What are you going to do next?
I'm going to go walk over there and sit there for maybe half an hour. Then I'll more than likely go home. Make myself a nice cup of tea, put YouTube on, see if there's out on YouTube. Or I might go see my mate, he just lives over the road from where I am. We just talk a load of rubbish. But apart from that, my day doesn't alter. And no, I'll rephrase that. My life doesn't alter, because what I'm doing today, I'll do tomorrow. And I'll do it next day. That's where a friend would come in, because a friend might say, let's go to Knaresborough today. I like that. Have you ever been to Knaresborough?
No.
Beautiful place.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous place.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me.
Where's my fee coming through the door?
It's in the post. I really hope you find your friend.
Well,
keep looking. That's what I would say.
I'm not looking, don't get me wrong.
Looking a little
I'm
bit.
not looking, yeah.
Side eye.
It's like Pat when I met Pat. I wasn't looking for her. She just appeared.
I'm sure someone will appear for you.
I'd like to think so, because it is a lonely life. As I say, through the day, it's brilliant. I enjoy myself through the day, but it's on a night time when I've locked that door, made my own tea, sat down and looked at it. Oh, it's 6 o'clock now. Thinking, I ain't going to bed till 10. I've got 4 hours to do. I won't say the words. Well, I will. Nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, take all the stuff off and you go, no.
We're done.
Go bollocks. That's your lot. Life, death, and a whole lot of what else do you expect? No regret. Go bollocks. Sit on a bench in loving memory of 1, 2, a Mirrorball waltz. Who's next? Let's dance. To a summer place. Let's dance till our memories fade. Every face, every game, every record played down a rabbit hole full of golden oldies, golden and old and holding little ones at the end. At the end, white lines, a jubilee, cat's eyes, road signs, 2 lives with too little time to regret. Too little time, but just enough for one more cup of tea. One more before we part company. Go bollocks, that's your lot. It's me or the lorry, she said. Goodbye, lorry. Goodbye, London. Goodbye, Leicester. Lattes, Leeds, Colchester, Mackie D's. Goodbye. Tears. Go bollocks. I'll see you next week if you're still here.